Thanks to what I believe was a price glitch at Michael's, I'm now able to try out one of the most hyped irons in the quilting world. Welcome to the Sewing Report. I'm Jen. This channel is all about making sewing fun and approachable. This is a product I've wanted to try out for years, but two things were holding me back from purchasing it. This is the Oliso Smart Iron. Pretty expensive. It retails for over $200, and the reviews were all over the place, so I really was pretty hesitant to buy this product myself and test it out for the channel. But late one night, I happened to be perusing the Michael's site, and I'm pretty sure they made a mistake with the pricing. It was 80% off. This iron usually retails for well over $200, but I happened to see it for under $50, and I decided to try to order two. So I did. And I also shared the link with many of you, and I know a lot of you did try to order some of the Oliso products. I'm pretty sure it was a mistake. I don't think they intended to make everything 80% off, but a lot of the Oliso products for several hours were drastically marked down. In fact, this was a lot lower than the wholesale price for the irons, which I thought was kind of crazy. So I was like, hey, why not give it a shot? Obviously, this video is not sponsored. I purchased these irons myself from the Michael's website. I do have some affiliate links, but I don't have any sort of relationship with Oliso. So this is going to be my honest opinions and experiences as a customer. One of the features that I was really intrigued about for this iron is that they have something, it's called the Smart Iron, and it has this feature called iTouch Plus Auto Lift. So it's got this like touch activated handle. When you got the iron plugged in and you're not using it, it has these little feet on the bottom that pop up. I'm gonna try to shoot some video from a different angle so you can see what I'm talking about. But when you go to use the iron, you put your hand on the handle and then the feet retract and then you can use the iron. And then whenever you're not touching the handle, the feet go back up like this. So I was like, that's a really cool feature. This is not a new product whatsoever. Obviously, it's new to me because I've never owned one of these irons before. I did purchase the mini version of the iron that does not have the iTouch feature. I did another video on that, and I purchased that one as well just to get, you know, a real honest assessment. I was really put off by the reviews for the Smart Iron, and this is the model TG1600 ProPlus. I believe this is the latest model for this particular iron. It does come in a multitude of different colors. There's also a Tulip Pink special edition. I think there's a K facet one. So they do have some limited edition type designs. I think Missouri Star Quilt Company has one as well. So it also has this dial here that you can switch from fabric types. And this is the steam. So you can have either no steam or different levels of continuous steam. And then this button is for a burst of steam, or there's a spray nozzle. It says you can use tap water unless you have hard water in your area, which we do. I live in Florida. The water here is pretty hard. So it does recommend, if you do have hard water, that you use bottled water. I'm not sure why, but it said not to use distilled water. So I was like, okay, so it does come with this instruction manual. I just got these out of the box last night, and I was trying to play around with the iron a little bit. And I'm gonna be real with you. I originally just opened the purple iron, and I wanted to use the pink iron, maybe possibly as a giveaway, but unfortunately something happened, and I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, and I ended up opening up the pink iron as well. The reviews I see online quite frequently for these Olisos, the complaints I've seen are about water leaking from the water tank, and I kind of experienced that myself. Like, I've seen a lot of negative reviews for the Oliso brand, and for being such expensive products, you know, I was pretty hesitant to pay $200 for this iron. So I paid under $50 for each one. And I was like, hey, for those prices, I'm willing to give it a shot, take one for the team. I can use these for research purposes for the channels. I was like, okay, the cord is very long. This kind of swivels, so that's kind of nice. It has the water tank here. It has this sole plate. I guess this is sort of an upgrade from the previous version. It has the Diamond Ceramic Flow Pro Press sole plate here. Here's the steam holes. And then here are the two pieces that pop up whenever you don't have your hand on the hand. This one is not plugged in, by the way. I do have this one plugged in, but it's not really on. And then this is a wool pressing mat. I think it's by the Gypsy Quilter. I think I got it a while ago. From all the reviews and feedback I've gotten on the Oliso irons, many customers, which I find this kind of strange, but they're saying they don't put water in their Oliso iron. But yeah, I've seen so many reviews of people saying that the iron leaked too much, or like they had weird issues with like rust coming out of the steel, like some real weird stuff if you look at online reviews. So that kind of scared me off from the brand. I'm just gonna be real. So I was like, is this something I really want to pay a lot of money for? But when I saw these on sale, I was like, all right, I guess I don't have a ton to lose. I think the features are nice. This takes some getting used to. I'm used to like touching the iron and not having it like do this robotic stuff, but it is a little bit like strange whenever it happens. You're like, oh, was not expecting that to happen. Activating iTouch auto lift. So it instantly raises the iron when the iTouch handle is released. It gets triggered pretty easily. So I was like, whoa. The iron is designed to be used with regular tap water. If your water is over 12 grams of hardness, we recommend using either inexpensive bottled water or mixing half tap water with half distilled water. Okay, so it says never use 100% distilled water because this can cause the iron to spit and leak. And that's one of the main complaints I've seen about the Oliso Smart Iron is people saying stuff like that. I've also seen some customers say that the iron kind of died after a few months or a year. This is going to be sort of a long-term iron test. We're going to see. All right, I'm just going to say this feels kind of cheap to me. Like it feels like it's going to break, or like it feels kind of chintzy. You know what I'm saying? Quite a few Oliso iron owners have been saying that they just never put water in their iron. Like low-key, that's kind of ridiculous. If something is marketed as a steam iron, you should be able to put water in it and the iron should not malfunction. Am I crazy for thinking that? So I did put some water in it. Now I used filtered water. We do have pretty hard water in my area. We have a water softener, and then I also have a filter on my fridge dispenser, water dispenser. So I kind of felt like that should be sufficient, I guess. Let's get a test piece of fabric here, and I'll actually turn the iron on. All right, so I'm gonna put it up to linen and cotton here. You might consider this good or bad. It is very heavy. I don't have a lot of upper body strength. If you have arthritis or hand strength issues, you may find this a little bit much. I do like that you can switch hands. It gets super hot. It takes a really long time to cool down as well. Just something I've noticed. This is just a scrap piece of quilting cotton. It does have that center fold. So this can be kind of tricky to get out because I usually use this cheapo spray bottle, but this sort of is a good substitute. So this is actually how I normally dampen fabric I'm trying to press. See if we can get the crease out of here. All right, let me turn on the continuous steam. Its basic functionality as an iron certainly works, but this is, again, a super high-end option compared to what else is out there. Detailer tip as well, so you wanted to get under things. Yeah, here's the continuous steam. It does hold quite a bit of water in the tank. Let's see the vertical steam. See, every time it does this, it still sort of startles me. All right, we'll see how this does with just the steam. Just the steam really didn't seem to get out the crease here. There we go. I do like the spray nozzle feature. That's something that I do find handy. I'm not even sure I'm someone that really needs the iTouch Auto Smart Iron feature. It's a little strange. Like, I'm just being real. It's a little strange for me. I'm not used to this. This is too high tech. So here's the thing. It seems strange just letting the iron cool like this, you know what I'm saying? Your natural inclination is not to leave the iron face down. On the upside, it did get most of that creasing out. You still see a faint line, but honestly, it doesn't do any better or worse than other irons I've used. So I do like that it has a very large surface area. Says it's easy to clean. I'll have to check the cleaning tips. If you have an Oliso iron, let me know what works. Doesn't work in terms of cleaning the sole plate. Another thing that I didn't notice right away, but did when I was looking at the sole plate a bit closer, is that on this particular iron, there's a rough spot on the sole plate, like it's like a little bit of a raised bump. And that was a little bit disappointing to see on this sole plate, especially for an iron that costs over $200. And that's why I ultimately ended up opening up the pink one, even though I wasn't planning on doing that, is that I wanted to see if the sole plate of this one had any major flaws. This one did have like a couple minor spots on it, but overall this is better than the purple one. To charge that much for an iron and then have little flaws on the sole plate like that, I feel like the quality control could have been a little bit better for that. Now you might think I'm being a little bit too nitpicky with this, and maybe I am, but if you're paying over $200 for an iron and you get a sole plate with flaws in it, I think most customers are going to be a little bit annoyed at that. I'm hoping it doesn't snag or do anything to finer fabrics, like if I'm pressing silk or rayon or anything like that, or like a slippery fabric, like something that can snag easy. That's sort of a concern. Now I've got the pink one open. I haven't used this one yet. Maybe I'll try using one with water, and maybe I will avoid using any water with this one, just like a lot of customers are saying. But I think if something is marketed as a steam iron, you should be able to use water in it without having any major issues. And the fact that I'm seeing so many Oliso iron owners complaining about that is like, you know, so I'm going to be testing these out myself. It's starting to leak water all over the place, but it seems like it's only when I'm putting the iron in like a more upright position. The water is actually coming out of here now. That's pretty strange. This area here, this is so confusing, guys. Yeah, just a warning, if you're using it, be careful, and I would only have the iron be sole plate facing down, or maybe at max, like, let's see what happens if I do this. So just a heads up that it will leak in certain positions. I mean, as an iron so far, I think it works fine. Is it worth the price tag? I don't know. Just first impressions, I personally would not pay over $200 for this iron. I could change my mind, who knows? And again, I paid under 50 bucks, so for 50 bucks, I'm not really gonna be complaining a lot. But if I was paying $250, I would be not a super happy camper. It's kind of finicky. I think the features are nice, but not something that I personally was like, oh my gosh, I have to have the iTouch feature. It's been leaking everywhere. I don't really have a concrete opinion on the Oliso Smart Iron yet, but I just got it out of the box and I wanted to share my just initial thoughts on this product. Some of the features, I mean, it's a very nice like novelty. I'm like, okay, this is sort of cool. It works well as an iron. I like the water spray feature. That's something I can use. It's pretty heavy. I think this part feels very cheap. I was kind of disappointed that there's some imperfections on the sole plate. Oh my gosh, what the heck? The leaking is not great either. So I'll be doing more in-depth videos and updates on the Oliso Smart Iron, but right out of the box, there are things I like, don't like about it. I would not pay $200+ for it, but for under $50, I thought it was worth a shot. Anyways, I'm Jen with the Sewing Report. I hope you enjoyed this video. I also have lots of other product reviews, demonstrations, and tutorials here on the channel. I will see you again in the next one. And remember, whatever you're doing, make it fun.